Hello everybody, it is me, Jurassic Alt, here to say that today we're going to be talking about Tales from the Pizza Plex Epilogue 5 for Bobbiedots conclusion. So yeah, let's get started. Hello, so it seems like no one was able to find the hidden Easter egg that I put in my last video, so I will give you a hint, and this is the only time I will really ever do a hint. It is between the 9-minute mark and the 10-minute mark. Also, this is the hinted image for this video, and if you are able to find it, let me know down in the comments, and I will put your comment in the next video. So the group tries to get the radio to start working, and as they're doing that, they hear someone on the radio saying that they are trapped behind the stage in the pizzeria. So the group goes around the backstage to find a secret hidden door. They open the door and see a lot of animatronic suits. Adrian goes into the room to check to see if anyone's in there, but as he's doing that, a mimic in a monkey costume jumps out and barely gets him. The whole group runs away and goes back into the office again, and Adrian got cut by the mimic, and so he gets bandaged up, and Adrian is worried about Joel and Wade. So Adrian and Jace try and find Joel and Wade, and they go through the vents, while Lucia and Kelly work on the radio. Adrian and Jace go through the vents, but hear something below them, and it is the mimic. They stop to hope that the mimic doesn't see them, and the mimic goes by, and they continue through the vents, but they have to take a detour because they run into an AHU fan and end up in the employees' break room. So they run to the systems room because that's where Wade and Jace were last seen, and as they go into the room, they see the mutilated bodies of Joel and Wade. Adrian sees that they were trying to go through the big fan in the systems room. It cuts back to Lucia and Kelly bonding and learning stuff about each other. Lucia looks back at the Mimic 1 manual and sees that there is a way to turn off the Mimic, but it is at the back of its neck. And Lucia finds a storage key. Adrian and Jace go through the rubble to find a spare endo leg that they try to break it free from rubble, but as they are doing that, they hear the Mimic coming up close. So they break the leg free and kind of just do a loop around to trick the Mimic. Also, the Mimic has a dog suit now. They both run into the systems room, and Adrian goes up through the vent with the leg, while Jace stays at the bottom. Adrian wedges the endo's leg into the fan, but the mimic goes into the room and the endo leg gets torn up by the giant fan, and instead of stopping the fan, the endo leg breaks into pieces and hits Adrian in the head, and Adrian falls right into the hands of the mimic, while Jace hides, knowing that he can't do anything to save her. So, some side note things I want to mention. So it seems like the mimic is connected to the power in the pizzeria, but yet drains it, because the mimic is able to talk into the radio and tell the group that, hey, someone's stuck in there, but clearly it tricked it. So it has some power connection to the building. It's not clear if the radio was something that was made by Fazbear Entertainment, so that could mean that it only has effects, like only has power effects on the pizzeria, but stuff outside the pizzeria that isn't Fazbear Entertainment made. Maybe the mimic doesn't have any effects on it. They mention a secret door, and there's a lot of secret doors I feel like we see in FNAF and just in general, with the secret door that's behind the puff of smoke in this area. Another spot where we see a kind of a secret door is where Afton was hiding or got trapped in a wall for 30 years. So yeah, what the hell? Why is there a monkey and a dog animatronic? I mean, the monkey one somewhat makes sense somehow, because that would be maybe a connection to Monty, Roxanne, and Tiger Rock, but a dog? Like, I don't understand. I genuinely just don't understand. Why are we getting these random, just oddball characters? Or like, I would get maybe the monkey, but we've mentioned a poodle, a monkey, a dog, an orange cat, and another dog, like a Labrador dog, or I think it was a Labrador. Like, we've mentioned like random animals. Why? What is your plan, Scott? So when Lucia and Kelly were talking, we learned that Kelly was really into working with radios and would talk to people all over the world on the radio from home. So yeah, which is interesting. So let's talk about some main things that I've been seeing a lot. The mimic. I love the mimic. I love the idea of a mimic of it being able to compact and contrast, or compact down into any suit, form into any body suit thing. I love that. It's such a cool idea. And I'm wondering if all of these endos in this room, slash just all the endos that we've been seeing, are mimics, because it looks like every single animatronic has the same air quotes endoskeleton. And that could be the same said for the same thing for the other animatronics in the previous games with all those endos. But it's just, I love the idea of it being able to form to each endoskeleton. And I think it's very interesting. I'm assuming we'll get an answer of what like really the real origins is. I think I heard it was in Edwin was involved in the Mimic 1 story. And I also do want to mention it's specifically called Mimic 1. In Animatronic Apocalypse, there's a guy who convinces everyone else that there are these evil robots out there, and his name is Mr. Renner. When the main character goes after him, he stabs him with a fire poker, and he bleeds out this black oil. I'm wondering if, because this is going to be a connection to another thing I'm going to talk about in a minute, but I'm wondering if the Mimic can transform or condense himself into a human's body. Because that's the case, that might explain why he was kind of bleeding black goo. So that means that Mr. Reynolds could have been a mimic disguised as human. Maybe he like took all of his bones out. Another thing in Frailty, the main character falls asleep and has a dream where she's kind of in this voidless area in a prom dress and is attacked by some machine, some kind of metal machine. It's not established what the machine looks like, but I'm wondering and having a feeling that the machine might actually be a mimic, might possibly mimic 2. So yeah, it seems very interesting that, so we could have technically seen the mimic before the epilogue and actually saw it in Frailty, but that's something maybe. So I want to talk about some theories about what's going to happen in the next story. So for the next story, I think it's probably just going to be down to Louisa, the main character. I think she's going to be the only one who survives. And I feel like in the next story, or in 2 stories, they're going to try, I think in the next story or in 2 stories, they're going to be able to turn off the mimic or temporarily turn off the mimic, because we still have to connect this to kind of a human fleshy body, how Burnt Trap looks. Now, I think that the mimic is going to be turned off, and Afton is going to fuse with the mimic. Now, Bon Bon Films did this animation called He Always Does, and it shows this scene, which I feel like this is how Afton is gonna be in the mimic. I think the mimic's gonna shut down, and Afton and the mimic are gonna fuse together to look like this animation. If it does look like that, Bon Bon Films predicted it, but I really like this animation. I love how it looks, and I haven't animated in a while, and I just wanted to say this looks really cool. But I feel like in the next story, or in 2 stories, Afton and the mimic are gonna fuse together to make Burnt Trap. So yeah, but that is my theory for that. Thank you guys so much for watching. It means so much to me you took the time out of your day to watch this video. Thank you guys for everything. I've been getting a lot of views, like up in the hundreds amounts of views, and I'm so happy that because I'm really proud of not every single one of them. Some of them are a little rocky, but for the most part, I am really proud of these theory videos, and I'm just really proud of like the theories, and I'm happy that people are actually watching them, because I feel like the only thing that would do good on my channel are animations, which are fair, because that's all I really did, and now all I really do is theory videos. I'm thankful for all those views. So guys, thank you guys so much for watching. And remember, waffle space sunflower seeds.